of it.
Exactly, in case we come up with some amazing brainstorm ideas. And
Right,
yeah.
right.
So tell me, how was Get Known and Dare to Be Digital for you?
It was really good. And so to let you know, I'm working with Christine Powers on the
Yes,
soul
yes, I
of her
heard that.
business. Right.
Yeah, in fact, she wrote me to say she really approved of us talking.
Um, you could look at that from one of two ways. We don't need her approval, but she's very
No,
enthusiastic about the potential of um, us joining.
correct. Yes,
Right.
yeah,
So
absolutely.
I
Yeah,
look at it from that. I
yeah,
laugh just because of the work that I'm doing.
right. Yeah,
So my initial business was built around the writing of this first book,
yeah.
which is over my shoulder. And I use
Okay,
that to design my website. Um, and if you have any experience of living around alcoholics or alcoholism or addiction, this is a book about coming into yourself.
my mum was an alcoholic actually.
So I'm happy to send you a digital copy if you'd like one.
That'd be interesting. Yeah, she's long passed, but
Well,
yeah.
it's and so what I focus on is the internalized energy from
Mhm.
really what we grow up around, and we take
Yes.
on a
Oh,
lot of um, everything.
yeah, yeah.
And so it really wasn't the alcoholism; it was all the other stuff that wasn't said or done, or and then all
Yeah,
the other stuff around it. Anyway,
yeah.
I just I tore everything apart. I've done I've done lots of programs, I've done other masterminds. So whereas I loved the 3-day workshop and it's highlighting the things that I know I need to do, which I already knew. It was a beautiful confirmation.
Hmm.
Um, I absolutely do not want to be in another mastermind.
That's totally fine. Yep,
I,
yep.
I just I just my soul cringes when I think of another mastermind because I that's what I've been doing for the last 4 years.
Understood.
And
And
I've
I
been
get that. I was in one for 5, and now I love to run them. I do not have any desire to be in one either.
I'm in
But
a
I'm happy
small
to be
one,
on the other end.
right? I'm in a small one with Christine with 5 other women, but
Uh
that's
huh.
very different. We've all gone through her philosopher's camp. You
Hmm.
know, we all know each other. We've been and so it's from a different perspective. But
Right.
really at the end of last year, I had been working with a marketing person,
Hmm.
but I wasn't really connected with really the core and the soul of my business and what it wanted to become. Oh, I can hear the
Okay.
seagulls.
Yes. Right outside.
So I tore everything apart and I was out at Christine's place in January
Oh
and
wow.
we did some really, really cool, amazing work. And so I'm working with her on my mission and vision and my avatar. Lola is her name. Um, and I have to be, what came out of that was really what I'm being called to do. And I've been very quiet about it.
Hmm.
Um, because I've been playing with the aspects. So I've got big sheets of paper up and I've got all kinds of things. And so it is totally new branding, a whole new everything. The website guy that I have now, Alex does what I tell him to do.
Okay. Yeah.
Which, and that's I get what I pay for, and it's $100 a month.
Okay.
So we spent the money on the initial building of the website, but it was me. And yes, okay, I was in systems for 30 years and 27 of them on Wall Street, but
Right. Yeah.
it doesn't mean that because I was an amazing application designer, it was the back end. It was how
Hmm.
things ran and fit together.
Yeah.
I didn't
Okay.
do the GUI front end stuff. So, um, and my website was built around initially that book and then of trying to create a coaching business.
Right. Right.
And what I do is well beyond coaching.
Okay.
And so Christine and I worked on that a little bit, but I was calling myself a healer, and healing is only one aspect of what I do.
Okay.
And so when I look at what Christine and I are doing, and then the other things, I know my website needs to be redone and it needs to be grossly simplified. Although, I'm proud of all those podcasts and all the speaking that
Oh,
I've
I'm
done.
sure you should be, and it's
I
good
think I can
tenure
take
there.
pieces of those for snippets of whatnot.
Yeah, yeah.
But it is, and so I looked at the aspects of, I did spent some time on your website, and of the pieces that were offered in the mastermind and then your other services. And
Hmm.
so, the whole social media strategy and the Google My Business, I've got my notes here, and the LinkedIn marketing, the social media audit and the social media strategy, and then what Andy Helmsley was doing as a bonus.
Yes,
Because
yeah,
I know I am not consistent across my platforms in any way, shape, or form,
yes, yes.
in any way other than my name.
Which is beautiful.
Um, but And then I
Yes.
really haven't gotten into SEO. So I write these blogs, but other than my mailing list of 108 people, um,
They're not getting indexed.
it's not at all. And so, I know I need to create, and this is the basis for my new logo.
Oh, oh. So that's
So what it
spiral.
is it's the way of the Diamond Warrior is what I'm creating.
Okay.
And the orange, so when you start on this path, you start in the orange
Mm-hmm.
and then go to the blue and then the red and then the green. And so this orange swirl out is what you're unwinding as you go out, and then you're bringing the turquoise into the core of yourself.
Oh,
And this is the purple 0 point that emanates up into the diamond.
fantastic. Got it. Like that a
So it's
lot.
kind of the colors in the painting behind
Yes,
me,
it is, isn't it?
that rose
Yes.
gold and the red and the
That's
blue and the green. And
so that's yeah.
so, and I don't want to, I like my old logo, and the name of my business will remain Reclaiming Yourself, the 3 words,
Yes.
but that
Yes.
logo is old.
Okay. So
It
the
doesn't,
painting, is that something you had commissioned or something you found or?
no, this is by an artist by the name of, what is his name? Ronaldo Julius Christensen.
Oh,
And
Ronaldo.
it's called Flowers in a Vase. And my dad was in the art business for years, and there's pieces he's given to me and other pieces he sold to me. And I said, if you were ever going to sell that piece, let me know. I will buy it from you. And here it is.
Special.
And it just feels
Special.
really powerful behind me. I
Yes,
worked
I
with
can see that.
someone that feng shui my whole place after I moved in here. Um,
Where is home, by the way?
Provo, Utah.
Okay. Okay.
I've been here a little over a year. I sold my house in January of 19. I traveled for 9 months. I was in New Jersey
Mm.
and came through here that June, really loved it. And, but wasn't ready to settle yet. So made it all the way up to Seattle, then went to Philosopher's Camp.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was there, I got the download of Provo because I knew I didn't want to travel anymore. And so I flew back to Seattle and got in my car and did the 3-day drive down here
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
rented
Mm-hmm.
a Airbnb. And within a week and a half, I was here.
Wow. To be.
And I rent it. I know that I'm here. This is like an incubation space for me.
Yeah.
So it's very fascinating that last year I thought I was going to travel to Peru and speak on stage in New York City and in Austin,
Oh,
and none of it happened. It's my incubation space.
got it. Yes.
So I'm really, and the book I talked about during the workshop, this is a very long answer to your question.
It's
I
great.
put on
Loving
hold.
it.
I've
Okay.
put on hold because I looked at, I really want to get to, really fine tuning my mission and vision and my avatar. And
Yeah.
so I'm re-listening to Storybrand and working with
Okay.
that. Um,
So
and
you're an Audible listener.
I am.
Yeah.
I like reading books as well. I have both.
Yeah.
Um, But yes,
But
it sometimes I
I'm
can just listen and write notes.
yeah, I'm embarrassed to say that my attention span while reading has lapsed terribly.
Mine too.
But give me an audible book and a couple of hours walk or a long workout. I am so in my zone.
Me too.
Quiet space, cup of tea, nice chair, book, 3 pages in. I'm like, oh,
I'm asleep.
right? It's so
Yes.
strange. And yeah,
Yeah.
I read like Lord of the Rings cover to cover twice. I engorged that book when I was a teenager, I guess.
Mhm.
I loved it. And now it's like, oh, please, really? 3, 4 pages and I have to go and do something else?
Yeah, I think what I've done is I read at night when I'm in bed, and
Mm-hmm.
so that's my signal to go to sleep.
Yes, yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
it's
Yeah,
amazing how our body trains the mind, or the mind
love
trains
that.
the body, both of it.
Bit of both.
So,
Yeah.
so in tearing everything apart and stepping away from like any of the programs or anything else, and it was the normal end of my initial contract with my editor.
Mm-hmm.
And so last weekend, I just after the workshop, I sat and I was like, what do I really need to do? And
Mm-hmm.
I don't want my book to be driving my business, which is what I did 4 years ago.
Okay.
I want my business to drive the book. And I want to get this out there. And so, in talking with Christine, I already had a list and I did big program management. So I get, roles and responsibilities, but I wanted to talk about how you and your team may fit in. And I'm having
Mm-hmm.
a number of conversations because
Yep.
I'm building the best that will support me to get this mission out, which is well, you'll get this. This is a mission from God.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I 100% get that.
Yeah. And what I
Yep.
liked about you is that you get God, but also spirituality and earth, and you're grounded. And um, yeah, so I wanted to talk about how, you know,
Yep.
this
Doing my
might work.
best on that one. Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
like that a lot. I like that a lot. So if I may, income split between speaking, book sales. How does that work for you, or how has that worked for you previously?
Well, I have not had
And I get that it might be a fallow year, obviously, but
yeah.
yeah.
So my book was published in May of 17, and then as an ebook, and then in later in the year as a paperback. And I received a royalty check for last year for $217. You don't make a lot of money off of books.
No, I know.
And I mean, you can, but it's rare.
Yeah,
Um, my income, see, I wasn't really marketing myself last year. So I don't even know as
mm,
it's a fully fair question.
that's fine. Yeah.
I was initially in the beginning of the year focusing on doing in person healing work. And then,
Mm-hmm.
but I found myself split between that and then speaking. And so I shut down the in person work, and it was actually right before COVID hit. So that was
Just
kind
as
of like
well.
a brilliant move.
Yes.
Um,
Yes. Yeah.
so now I have a 3-month program that I do with people. I have a client right now who's going to finish up her initial 3 months. She's in Denmark. So I do distance
Oh.
healing and guidance,
Yes.
and it's bringing people really to, who they are underneath all the layers. As I like to say, the divinity of who we are, of who we were born as.
Yes. Yes.
And but I'm changing that. So I'm changing my products as well. 3 months isn't long enough. It's going to become 6 months.
Yeah. I agree with that one. Yeah.
Um,
And even then, they're only at a place maybe of discovery and awareness, but then they
right,
need guiding into the purpose, right?
right. And so it may, there may be people that want to work with me for a year. At some point, I'll probably do a mastermind, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
focusing on this initial. update of my website, my strategy,
Yeah.
this new
Yep. Got it.
brand, and this one product.
Got it.
So
So
I have not had any, specifically paid speaking engagements, but I've done a lot of podcasts to get my message out there, and I'm
got
fine
it.
with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Do
don't
you have
want to
a?
be, I was going to just say one more thing. I don't
Yeah.
want to be known as just a paid speaker.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking is an aspect of what I do, and I would
Got it.
actually rather heal from the stage and have people want to come work with me rather than being at the mercy of an event's agenda because they're paying me.
I love that. Yeah. What I was going to say was, do you have an agent who's going to find you speaking gigs, or are you part of a speaking?
So I worked with Trisha Brook for a couple of years, BRO UK.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I was part of her mastermind last year. And I think in May I stepped away because my sole goal isn't to be on the TEDx stage. I will be on the TED stage at some point,
Right. Good for you.
but
I
this
see
is
so many
where,
people like, I'm on the TEDx stage, and it's like,
and
okay,
right?
right?
So this is where I really shed a lot of things last year, and now this is the core focus of what it is that I'm doing. So speaking is an aspect, writing is an aspect.
Yes. Got it.
um,
And how did the lady in Denmark find you?
I'm in a group. This is one of those just magical things, and they asked what you do, and I did just like a 2 sentence thing of I create a portal for people to step into the next level of themselves. And Vibe found this, and she went to my website. So I guess she found my website via my Facebook page. And it was
Yeah.
just one of those synchronistic things. And I have a
Perfect.
free 45-minute Explore the Possibilities call because I want to make sure I want to work with you as well.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
And she has a daughter who's about 16 months old, and she was late in the day and her daughter was crying and she really couldn't focus. She's like, I really need to reschedule this. And I said, okay. So we met again in 2 weeks, and she had to think about the investment.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And here we are.
And there you are. Good for you. Good for you. You've probably learned a lot through that process too.
I have. Well, clients always come to us to help us.
Take us to the next place. Yeah.
Right. Always.
Yeah. I love that.
They
Yeah.
all have. And
Yes.
yeah, so she's working a lot now with the energy of obligation.
Oh,
Mm,
that's interesting.
which was a big one for me.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those old
It's
vestiges that kind of put their little cords into us.
yes. Yeah. It's funny because I'm back on the island where I was born and brought up, obviously, and I deliberately left here. I knew I needed to leave here, and I had no idea. Oh, sorry, no desire to ever live here again.
Hmm.
And we've been back 5 weeks or so now, and we drive in the countryside, and I see these beautiful stone cottages on a little homestead, and they overlook the ocean, and it's like, oh, I could so see myself living there. And I have this romantic notion of properties, and then when I step back and I just look at I have to say, the negativity of this place, and the
Oh,
energy is
interesting.
not good. And it's like, I remember why I left.
Mm.
So, yeah, yeah. But it's hard because there's just lots of things that just come up. And even like today, Debbie and I went for a walk, and it was a glen that we always used to have my birthday party in. And it's desolate. It's just really sad how it's been left to go. And I just remember standing in this field that afternoon. And I said, Debbie, there were swings here, and there was a slide, and there was a roundabout, and I could see my mom with my little baby brother in a stroller, and this was my happiest place. And it's like, don't want to be here anymore. just it's just been a lot of thought provoking getting out of my system. Just
Hmm.
it's actually I actually made some videos today because I couldn't process how I was feeling. I just made some videos. So I thought I need to go back and watch this and just take myself through this piece because it didn't feel good at all. It's interesting.
Well, this is where, I mean, so you're there for more than a reason other than,
Mhm. Yeah, I know that. Yeah, and
um,
I'm reading Mark Schaefer's latest book, and this I can't reach it from here, but
mhm,
every page that I'm turning, it's almost a stirring in my soul that's telling me I'm meant for so much more than I've already done. And I can't pinpoint what that is, but I just this nuance is just sitting very comfortably. It's like you need this time to rest and recuperate and clear out all the stuff because there's a
mhm.
new season coming. Probably not
Yep.
this year, but soon. That's going to be much bigger than I've ever experienced, and I need to be open to that and ready for that. And I don't think I could be if I wasn't going through what I'm currently going through.
Yeah.
So I'm mid process, and I pretty much only have myself to process.
Well, this is where, I think of the body as having a finite amount of space,
Hmm.
and there's only so much we can clear or
Yep.
hold.
Yes.
And to step into the next level of ourselves, it's a clearing out of the old to create space. But there's that liminal space that I call living in the open question.
Hmm.
And that's where we get to play and discover. Because we as humans, we want to know what's going to happen. We want our answer today, right now. I want to know what it's going to be. And being in the space of living in the open question, it's like we get to explore and play what if.
Oh, we're gonna have so much fun writing this up.
And it
Yes.
and it just gives us the opportunity to just to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the other thing too is do you know how to clear your energy?
I I do my best. I have my own routines, and in fact, I did one for 15 minutes before the call actually, and I to the best of my knowledge, I think I'm doing quite well. I try not to harbor things anymore and just go to my source and just let it go and just understand what the various factors that are affecting me and whether they're allowed to stay or not. But I have my own way of doing what I do. I don't
Mhm.
know if it's the
Well,
best,
and
but
there's lots of different ways, but
yeah,
what's important is to not attach the feeling or the emotion with the story.
interesting. Yes, yes.
And I do this a lot with clients as well. And so that feeling of that joy and that happiness from when you were a child,
Hmm.
you never lost that.
No, no.
And so even when you look at that Glenn, you can see how it is, but not create a new emotion or feeling attached to it.
Hmm. Hmm. I know what you mean.
And that can be
Yeah,
really powerful because then
yeah.
it's like you can still like embody and bring back that joy that you felt.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, yeah. That is a good word. Thank you for that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I guess it's hard too because I'm kind of reliving the loss of my both my parents. So my mum's been dead 13 years, my dad 7, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
and of course Debbie's folks um, were just in that season again, right? And so I'm doing my best to process internally because externally I have to be there for Debbie and her mum. Um, it's my role to be the strength for them, and Debbie keeps saying to her, "Are you okay about this?" I said, "You know what? I'm fine. You were there when I lost my parents. This is my time for me to be here with you. So then I have to go through my own processing without being a burden to her because she just needs me to hold that space for her, if you know what I mean."
Mm.
But yeah, it's definitely clearing out just a few bits that I guess I've obviously hung on to.
Yeah. Do you journal?
Do you know, I used to a lot. That's a good point. Um,
Because you could write
hmm.
your mother a letter.
Mm.
You could also write your father a letter.
Yes, I could. This is a great two-way call.
This is some of what I do with the people I work with. It's like, because I think of it as, so both of my husbands were alcoholics because I
Mm,
followed in the family tradition. I'm the fourth generation of women who grew up around and married alcoholics. And I've broken that cycle.
good for you.
But we could never have that conversation that I wanted to have. And so one day I said, and I do a lot of journaling, but one day I sat down, I wrote him what ended up being a 30-page letter
Goodness.
in
Goodness.
a regular college line notebook, because it was all the things that I wanted to, but it was also me taking responsibility.
Right. Yes.
And
Yes.
I saw things, and so you can write a letter to your younger self. You could write a letter to that playground. You can write a letter to your parents.
Yeah. I mean,
And
they're buried together, and I have not done it this trip, but every trip I've done back, I've gone and I said, I'm gone for the day. And I've gone to my
mm,
favorite little florist who was a family friend from school and bought my mum's favorite flowers. And I've gone and I've cleaned it all up and I've laid them there and I have sat and had the most engaging conversations. And I've wept and I've laughed and I've done all the different spectrum of emotions during that time. But I haven't had a chance to do that yet. So I will do
yeah, and
that too.
writing a letter that will never be sent. And then if you need to, you can burn it, because
Yes, I've done that
there's
before.
there's
Yeah.
something really cathartic about, not only has
Yes.
all that energy gone onto the paper, but then
Mm.
to watch it turn into smoke and ashes.
Yeah, I have done that. Yeah. Whew. We're gonna have
Yeah.
some fun. I'm feeling it.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
this helps get some of the energy out.
It
It's
does, doesn't it? Yeah.
yeah,
Thanks, Stephanie. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So web branding, SEO.
Yeah, so I've got, the website design, SEO, um, an audit of all of my tools. It's like I moved from MailChimp to ConvertKit so that I could do, I have a boundaries for email sequence, but I
Mm-hmm.
hate the look and feel of ConvertKit, and I'm paying $30 a month for it. So this is where I would want to say, Alex, you know what? I've got hours in the bank that I haven't used. We're just going to play those out, and I'm not going to pay you anymore. And I'm while the new website is being built. I
Sure.
mean, I'm on WordPress,
Yeah.
but I don't use whatever with the Divi or Dixie or whatever it is.
Divi. That's the
Divi.
operating theme that we love because it's made lead pages redundant, really, for
Mm,
us, and you can create the most beautiful landing pages so gracefully without a lot of coding knowledge, and yeah, it's saving that whole lead page journey. And to
mm.
me, the whole lead page journey is just way too masculine, and that doesn't sit with a lot of people. People don't want to be bashed and sold to and urgent, sign up now and all the those pages. Like, can you just tell me how much it is? And you go, it's like, come on, please, just I want to know. And it's no, sorry.
Well, but this is
But yeah,
where, see, I'm on the fence about putting my prices on my website.
and that's totally fine. It's just
Yeah.
if there's a course and you're trying to find this course and you're just desperate to say, well, is
Oh,
it
that's
nine?
different for a
Yeah.
course versus one-on-one. If you're going to go
Oh,
into
yeah,
a 6-month journey with me and it's going to
yeah,
cost you 8 grand or whatever it is, that number just came to me. So that might be it. I
yeah.
don't know. For the person I'm working with, I actually like that. I like the feel of that. Then that was
That sounds a
totally
good number.
intuitive.
There you go.
Um, I'm not going to put that price on, but this is where I could have a course that somebody could do a self-paced, and I would put
Yeah,
the price on that. But
yeah.
before, because I've had clients that I've actually canceled contracts with because it was like pulling teeth.
I have too.
And
We,
so
we
I
actually
want
just
to,
did one yesterday,
oh, wow.
and it's a great company, and we really believe in what they do. And the gentleman that they've given us to be the liaison has no authority, and he cannot
Mhm.
get an answer out of the owners at all. And in the end, he went, "You guys are awesome. You're asking all the right questions. I don't have the answers. I'm asking them. They don't even seem to care." And Lindsay just got to the point and said, why are we putting all of our energy giving these people the best stuff when they actually don't want it? We're almost like, why did they come to us? Um, I don't know. But yeah, she just said, I think it's time to sort of just finish phase one and not even offer phase two, which we were about to do. And I said, I agree.
Yeah,
So
it's
yeah,
where we need to
it's
just
quite releasing, isn't it? Yeah.
it really is. And like my editor wasn't really pushing me.
Mm.
And I understood, so she was an editor for my first publisher. And it was such a strict timeline. And Maggie used to also work in the press, which has strict timelines. She's like reacted and it's so open-ended. So I understand where she is. And
Yes.
I did a lot of good work because it's brought me to now,
Yes.
but I will not work with her again.
Okay. Fair enough.
So it's
Yeah.
all learning lessons. It's like this client for you. It's
Yeah. Yeah, we have high hopes for them, and this guy. I mean, he's really their IT guy, and
mm,
why people think marketing should go to the IT guy, I don't know. Some in this day and age, and he's a very smart guy, and he's passionate, but he has no authority. Um, so
I dealt with this on Wall Street.
yeah.
It's, because they didn't have business analysts, so they had the IT guys talking with the business guys, and the business guys didn't know how to structure this stuff, so they left it all to IT.
Mm-hmm.
That was a cluster.
No kidding, hey.
Yeah. So yes, website, social media strategy.
Okay.
Um,
So, are you
look,
looking for someone to work alongside you to write for you across social?
how to best. So you've seen my writing,
Mm-hmm.
some of it.
The story that you wrote about Christmas Eve, I mean, I'll never forget that. I mean, my heart broke when you didn't get a gift. And it's like, it's
Uh,
Christmas Day, people.
I was besides myself. I'm
I
like,
so got you. Yeah.
so, and I have a blog on my website, and I think there's some of that material I could take
Mm,
and reuse it as I move into this next level
yes,
version, whatever. But it's the best way of getting it out there. So it's
absolutely.
it's like refining, tweaking,
Yeah.
like and the re and I don't know all the social media stuff. Okay, yeah, I'm on Facebook, yeah, I'm on Instagram, yeah, I'm on LinkedIn, but how to use them most effectively to
Mm,
reach who it is that I want to reach,
yeah.
that's the partner that I'm looking for that. Because I
Got it.
I I can, like I said, I can speak. I'm a
Yeah.
great interviewee. I can
Yeah.
write,
So, have you
but
thought about your own podcast?
not now. I did actually think about having something called the elephant in the room
Mm-hmm.
as like a video series.
Yes.
And I had the first season all mapped out and I didn't do it. And so I
Oh,
still could.
yeah.
And it might be a 2022 thing.
Yeah.
I think for now, I don't know. I go, part of it is I understand how much time and effort can go into creating a podcast.
Yes.
And I don't want that to divert me from what I'm really meant to do here now.
Understood. Yeah. Yeah. Totally
I'm,
understand.
I'm kind of like being like a shark, and I do this with people. I'm kind of like being like a shark.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just, I'm being a shark. And it's really of, there's a lot of things I can do. I do custom watercolor paintings. I've got at least 3, if not 4 books in me, including a kid's book. Um, I've thought about making an oracle card deck, programs, recorded things, self-paced study. I've got probably 10 years of material to get out there in me. And I know when I'm spread out, nothing gets done.
Got it. I know that feeling. Yep. I've been there.
So it really is this first offering of the 6 months for 8 grand. I love how that came through.
Mm-hmm.
Working one on one with women who are like I was on Wall Street. It's like they're at the top of their game and they're saying, I've done everything that I was supposed to do, that I thought I was supposed to do, and it's not satisfying.
It's not enough.
And my next step is the executive suite. And I know how hard I push to get where I am. And I don't know that I have it in me to push to the next level. And underlying all of this is not worthiness, it's legitimacy.
Ooh.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's what came to me while I was out in the Adirondacks. I think you're like the fourth person to know that word. I'm keeping things really under wraps.
You're
And
totally safe here. Yeah.
yeah, and so it's really of and how many times have we been told you're not supposed to be here?
Yes.
And we
Yes.
fight that battle to prove that we're supposed to be. And
Yes.
it continues to take us further and further away from who we really are.
Got it. Got it. Oh, this is so good. I use some software called Searchy.io, and it transcribes beautifully our Zoom calls.
Mm-hmm.
So there's some huge
Oh,
pieces here that we've already covered off that I'll make
what
sure we've
is the
got.
name of that? Because I've been using Otter and I'm not thrilled with it.
Otter's good. It's Searchy, so Search IE. I think it's .io.
I'll find it. Yeah.
I bought it when they were a Kickstarter,
Mm-hmm.
and I got an incredible deal.
Oh, nice.
Searchy dot. I think. 1 second.
Does because Otter I find transcribes probably gets
Yeah.
about 80 to 85% of it right.
It does. This is probably 98% right.
Oh, I
It's
like that.
incredible. And okay, there it is. I'll put it in the chat. Doo-doo. Where's my chat? I'm minimize my screen a bit here. Chat. There we go. Yeah, I got an incredible deal. I have unlimited transcriptions per month for $97. And I was using Rev for a while, which is very good. It is a real person, but that was $1 a minute, and
Mm,
I just thought this is just getting exorbitant, $400-500 of bills. But
yeah.
Searchy, I've really, and the other piece is it too is that it's quite intuitive. So if you just said, oh, we talked about elephant in the room, or I talked about legitimacy, uh, it has that search capacity. It will go straight to those sentences for you, and
Nice.
it's great. Yeah, Searchy.io is in the chat there.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Because I haven't, so
So I don't know how much it is today. I
I'll
bought it
take a
about
look and
a
yeah.
year or so ago, but I just knew it felt right, and the founder was there, and he still writes to us, and it's been very, very good for us. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so it's website, social media strategy. Somewhere in this mix is the logo and graphic design of that goes around that. My consistency across platforms, um, the SEO and visibility, and the Google My Business.
Yep. That's,
Um,
that's part and parcel. Yeah.
yeah, the stuff that Andy does. And
Yeah,
then
he's great.
I've got a great salesperson, but she teaches like the soul of sales.
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, this is amazing. And so, and I connected with her through, actually, she was at Philosopher's Camp when I was a year and a half ago. Um, but it's like merging all, it's the cauldron. It's the merging of all these things, excuse me,
Yeah.
um, of like really representing who I am and what I do.
Got it. Got it. Got it. Would love to work with you on this. I really, really would. And I'd learn to. I always find that my best clients are also my biggest learning vessels for my own next development as well. Because as I'm experiencing what you say and do, and we're not trying, but as we assimilate it to write it, I get the benefit of being part of that. So, yeah, very, very neat. Very, very neat.
Yeah, and I loved Lindsay and her energy in the workshop. Um, and just
Where,
looking around
where,
at your site and your team, it's um, but it's coming up with what, what you think this might look like
Yeah.
from your team's perspective. Christine and I have a timeline of like really completing my mission and vision and my avatar by the end of this month.
Oh, fantastic. Okay.
Yeah,
By the end of March. Yep.
end of March, right? Because I want to just the my Leo progressed moon is calling. So, are you familiar with progressed moons?
I am not.
So, when you're born, are you into astrology at all?
A little. Yep. So I'm June 15th. I'm a straight Gemini. Yeah.
Okay. So, I was born Sagittarius with Aquarius rising, and my moon was Taurus. But the moon progresses, and you go into another sign every 29 months. And
Oh.
you can chart this back from now to birth.
Mm-hmm.
And my progressed moon has been in Cancer for 28 months, which is all about emotions and water, and it's been incredible healing. My next is Leo, and Leo is fire and getting out there, and
Getting
it's
out there. Yes.
but part of it is of making sure that you clean up and finish what you need to do with the sign that you're in.
Yeah.
It's like you're feeling the pull. It's like you're
Yes.
feeling the pull of what's next, but it's
Mm.
remembering to stay in this liminal space of there's things to complete here. So I'm in the energy of both.
Got it. Got it.
So this just feels like, it's of me just I've been really quiet.
Yes.
And so
Yes.
it is a getting back out there. So that's my timeline with Christine anyway. And then there's additional work we'll continue to do
Oh, I'm
with,
sure. Yeah.
content
Yeah. Her
creation.
and I have a call. Well, we haven't booked it yet, but she said, I'd love to talk to you.
Hmm.
I'd like you to get out of your sales cycle from this event, which of course you have to
Yeah.
do. But when you're through that, I can't wait to have a really deep conversation with you. So, and that was yesterday, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know this is not for her either, what we were offering last week, and that's fine. I
Right.
mean, there was a gentleman there, Jeff, and he owns a very high end furniture store in Canada. And through Story Brand, he approached us, and we're having this journey. And he and I met yesterday, and he went, I loved what you did. He said, but I don't know if you were really speaking to me through the workshop. I said, I wasn't. I said, come along and you can just see us in action. But I said, that was like over 80% female solopreneur energy, wonderful soul based person. That's our sweet spot. We know we do that very, very well. I said, you're a hard goods commercial retail guy. I said, actually, we also do that. I have real first hand experience of what you need. But I said, you're also, a child of God and a believer, and we both know this. And you have soul in your business rather than just selling. He went, yes, I do.
Yeah.
I said, so that's the connection piece. But you and I will do was actually not what I was showcasing, but I just wanted you because it was timely that you could see me in action.
Hmm.
Um, but that wasn't my pitch to you. And he went, I realized that, but he said, so that was great that we had that conversation because, I mean, he needs people in his door and he needs to sell on quality and the case goods, hard goods. So funny enough,
Yeah.
I worked in that industry for a little while and I totally know what he needs. So
Mm, yeah.
yeah,
And this is where, I'm making an investment in this, and it's like either it works or I go get a job,
right,
and I'm
right.
not going to get another job.
No, I've been in that place.
I'm not going back to project program management. I'm really good at it. I'm like one of the best COOs.
Hmm.
I'm the COO of my business.
There you go. There you go. Okay. I've got 3 pages of notes. I've got the call. We'll record it.
Hmm.
Um, Let me run this through with Lindsay. Let's come up
Yeah.
with let me just
Yeah. Let it marinate, talk with
yeah,
her,
exactly. Yeah.
and we can have another call, be it the two of us or the three of us. And,
Yeah.
let's
Quite often
continue.
Lindsay just watches these to sort of get up to speed. Because that's
Ah,
nice because you
okay.
can put them on one and a half or 1 3/4 time, and but you still catch everything, and then
Yeah. And
just
then
pause and watch it regular. So yeah, I'd love to do that. I can do that by Wednesday or Thursday of next week, if
yeah,
that's
that's
okay.
fine. Then we can have another conversation. I have
Yeah.
I have plenty that I'm working on.
Oh, you do, don't you? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. This is great,
Um,
Stephanie. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Wonderful.
Awesome.
I've really, I feel great about this. Really, really great about this. I'm going to write some letters to my parents this weekend.
There you go.
And I definitely will go visit them too. Um, oh, visit the little tiny gravestone. I want to visit them.
And
They're
another
everywhere,
thing,
but
have you ever exchanged energy with a tree?
yes, funny
And
enough.
one of the ways to release some of the energy is just put your hands on the tree and allow what you want to release to go down through your feet with the intention that whatever is released becomes fertilizer.
Oh, that's clever. I have a lady who's a client of ours in Ontario, Burlington, and she does a lot of work with First Nations bands. They call her
Mm-hmm.
the white woman, but anyway, and she does so much work with trees. It's fascinating to have learned from Sheila, and yeah, in fact, in my last workshop, which I delivered in August time, it was very very warm, and my wife kept bringing me outside, and we said like, come on, you just need to stand in the middle of the lawn, no shoes, just
Yep,
stand in the
barefoot.
lawn. Okay, okay, but I should no, and she, and I'm there, and you go, no, just breathe. I went, oh, okay. I so needed you to tell me to go do that. I know how to do this. I totally forgot to just
But
ground
being
myself.
Yeah, but being very intentional with what you release, that it be transmuted into fertilizer or stardust if you're sending it up.
Mm.
Because I do land healings it, all over the place. And there's so much that we dump into Mother Nature. And that's part of why she's protesting. You just froze up.
Right. Oh, did I? Oh,
Oh, now you're back. So it's just of
but
when you go and hold it and you'll feel the tree in one of your different energy centers.
interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Pretty
Love
much,
this.
but it's a nice way to release. And, as you're
Yes,
doing
yes.
this weekend,
Yeah, thank you.
you're
Think of me.
welcome.
Okay, I am so excited to talk to you again soon.
Me
Blessings on
too.
your weekend.
Awesome. Thank you. You as well.
So nice
Thank
to
you
see you
very
again.
much. You too.
Take care. Bye
Bye.
bye.